It is about July 31st, 2024. At around 2 o'clock in the night, a loud explosion is heard inside the compound of the president's palace in Iran's capital Tehran. Neither was it an ordinary day, nor was the place where the explosion took place an ordinary location. The day was not ordinary because it was the second day of the oath-taking ceremony of Iran's new president Mossad Pezeshkian. In this green compound, where various royal palaces can be seen, on its side is this 5-story building where Iran's state guests come and stay, and this explosion took place on the 3rd floor of this building. On this day, no ordinary person was present in this guest house, but Palestine's former Prime Minister and Hamas leader Ismail was present. This was a high-profile murder. Israel's agency was said to be behind the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, but as always, Israel and Mossad did not take any action. No statement was given on this. The Hamas leader was killed inside the Iranian president's compound when he was under the protection of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, and that too as a state guest. If Israel had really done this, then a few questions arise here. How was this operation carried out about 2,000 kilometers away from Israel? Why was Ismail Haniyeh killed in such a different manner? He had come to Iran only as a guest. He mostly lived in Egypt, Qatar, or Turkey. Then why was he targeted in Iran? If we look at the few targeted operations of the Israeli agency Mossad, one thing is very common in them: fear. Yes, whether it is the death sentence of Adolf Hitler, the bombing of nuclear reactors in Syria, the killing of Iran's nuclear scientist, or the killing of Hezbollah in Lebanon. 3,000 pager devices were living in Qatar. Not only this, but other Hamas leaders also live freely in Qatar. The interesting thing is that Israel's allied American army is also present in Qatar. Hamas people do not hide there. Even Hamas's headquarters is also present in Qatar. Ismail Haniyeh also spent many years in Qatar, but not a single attack took place on him. But why? If he was targeted in Qatar instead of the enemy country Iran, it would have been easier. But we are only thinking this, while the reality is exactly the opposite. To know the reason for this, we will have to go back 14 years when a very big blunder was committed by the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad. A blunder which proved to be a big mistake. In 2010, Mossad had planned to eliminate Hamas logistics officer Mahmoud Abdul Rauf al-Mabu. In the eyes of Mossad, Mahmoud had made a plan to kill Hamas logistics officer Mahmoud Abdul Rauf al-Mabu. Mossad's duty was to buy weapons from Iran and send them to Gaza Strip, and they also believed that Mahmoud had killed 2 Israeli soldiers in the past. Anyway, this operation was named Plasma Screen, and it was to be carried out in Dubai. 20 agents of Mossad took part in this operation who had to reach Dubai in disguise. The problem was that, at that time, there were 24 countries which did not accept Israeli passports, including Dubai. Hence, these 20 agents had to reach Dubai on a foreign passport. But from where were these foreign passports arranged? There was a system in place in Israel for this. In Israel itself, people who had dual nationality, one passport was of Israel and the other of British American or Australian, were shortlisted, and an officer went to them and asked them whether they wanted to travel on their second passport or not, and if someone said no, they were told people were asked if they could give their passport details for use for the safety of the nation, i.e. Israel, and in response people often did not refuse. Mossad for Operation Plasma Screen. These passports would have someone else's name and photo. Traveling to Mossad can be very risky, so it was very important for them to go to Dubai in the first time itself and eliminate Hamas's logistics officer, but this could not happen. In the first visit, they followed Mahmoud in Dubai itself and kept a close watch on his movements, but before the agents could do anything, Mahmoud left Dubai. In the second visit, the agents had to come to Dubai on the same passports, and while following Mahmoud, they succeeded in throwing poison in his coffee, but Mahmoud could not die. His health definitely deteriorated and he went to his home in Syria. After 2-3 months, Mahmoud came back to Dubai, and Mossad agents also reached back to Dubai on the same fake passports, on which traveling more than once was very risky for them. This time they decided to stay in Mahmoud's hotel. Some agents in tennis player getup took Mahmoud to Dubai. They followed Mahmoud in the hotel lift, and one of the agents noted which room he was going to. The entire operation was being recorded in the CCTV camera. They managed to book the room next to Mahmoud's. 4 of these agents found the right opportunity, opened the door of Mahmoud's room and sat in ambush inside. When Mahmoud returned from shopping, he was killed with an ultrasonic device. The special thing about this device is that it can stop a person's heart without leaving a needle or physical mark. The entire operation looks like a Hollywood movie on the plasma screen. The only difference was that in movies, a hacker partner sits outside in a van and deletes the CCTV records. But there was no such scene here. All the movements of the agents were recorded in the CCTV. The agents laid Mahmoud on the bed as if he had died a natural death, and all of them immediately fled from Dubai. What they wanted happened exactly the same, Dubai police said. Mahmoud died of a heart attack, but Hamas claimed that Mahmoud's death was not natural but a murder. Dubai police saw CCTV footage and checked immigration records. It was these fake passports that brought down Mossad's agents. It was found that 20 agents entered Dubai at the same time behind Mahmoud. Not just in one but in all 3 visits, their entry matched Mahmoud's. Moreover, within 2 hours of Mahmoud's death, all 20 agents fled from Dubai. Dubai police issued their arrest warrants. This was a matter of great surprise for all those whose passports these actually were. The people whose passports were used were Australian, British, Irish, and German nationals. When they came to know that a murder had taken place in Dubai in their name, they too became very angry. The case was getting international coverage, and these countries were furious about this murder. Israel started getting a lot of bad reputation. These were the same countries which are considered allies of Israel, and they felt very bad that their friend country has defamed them in the world. Mossad Operation Plasma Screen became the reason for a lot of bad reputation and negative impression for Israel. Israel, which is actually present in the Middle East only on the basis of its allies, broke the trust of its allies. Since then, Israel has not given any chance to upset its friend countries and allied partners. This is the reason why Hamas headquarters is also present in Qatar, because Qatar is not only an ally of US but also a supporter of Hamas. In 2011, US President Barack Obama personally requested Qatar to provide place to Hamas leadership on its land. At that time, US wanted to negotiate with Hamas, and it was easier to do this work in Qatar than in Iran. The reason is that it is impossible for Israel to target Hamas leaders in Qatar, but when Hamas leaders are not in Qatar, they are in Turkey, Egypt, or Iran. Egypt and Turkey are also US allies, and targeting Hamas leaders here can also become a bias for defamation, but Iran is not an allied partner of the US. This is why targeting Ismail Haniyeh in Iran is difficult. Mossad often visits Tehran. He also had the information that whenever he goes to Iran, he stays in the guest house present in the compound of the presidential palace as a state guest. But he did not know when Haniyeh would go to Iran next time. During this time, an incident happened which was enough to call Ismail Haniyeh to Iran. You will remember that some time ago a helicopter crashed in Iran. This crash happened on May 19, 2024, in which the Iranian president died. Mossad President, we will definitely invite mass leader Ismail Haniyeh to the inauguration ceremony of Mossad. Plant a bomb under the complex. This was not a timer bomb but a remote-controlled bomb that would explode at the right time according to the plan. Ismail Haniyeh was invited to the oath-taking ceremony of the new Iranian president. This ceremony was to be held on July 28, 2024. Some reports say that the bomb was planted 8 weeks before the ceremony. On July 28, the new president Masoud Pezeshkian took the oath. Ismail Haniyeh attended the inauguration, met the Iranian supreme leader, and then moved to the guest house on July 30th. It was also very easy for Masoud to keep an eye on him because this presidential palace was built by the former Shah of Iran as a hobby near the international ski resort. From here, a 7 kilometers long chairlift takes you to the ski resort, and from the chairlift, this building is clearly visible where Ismail Haniyeh had to spend the night. The agents saw it themselves or got help from the inner guards. But as soon as they got the news that Ismail Haniyeh had gone to his room, they waited for the lights of the room to be switched off. It was 1:40 in the night at this time. As soon as the lights of the room were switched off, they pressed the button and exploded the bomb placed under the bed. The purpose of Israel to carry out such attacks is to instill fear and terror in the heart of its opponents so that they feel that no matter how secure the environment is, they can be targeted anywhere and at any time. Hope you all will like and share this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next wonderful video.